Good morning, Hope Church. But when you woke up this morning, you didn't think you'd see me and Klaudia today, and Ephraim. Yeah, it's just been such a blessing, you know, at Barnsley, the way we've just settled in, the children in their schools, and Hannah, our 17-year-old daughter, she now works in the Holiday Inn, and so she's loving that, and her and Adam, so Rotherham, Elim, that's a church that they go to the youth on Fridays. And so they've gone with that church, so it's a real blessing. The pastor there has become like my supervisor now, so he's a bit of a mentor for me there. So when the kids normally go to the youth, I will spend some time with Adam. So it's really great. You know, when I was thinking of who's it going to be now, like it was Damien and Corby for me, and who's it going to be, you know, up north. And then when I seen this Pastor Adam, I just thought, straight away, I just knew he's a pastor's pastor, just like Pastor Damien. Just loves God so much, but loves people so much. So that's been a real blessing for them. And, you know, our daughter, Hannah, we've just seen her grow so much with the move. You know, it's just been amazing just to see her and Adam and where they're at now. And the village that we live in is called Mapplewell. And that's just such an amazing place, a great place to bring your children up, and so much to do. And the friends that they've made are just really, really nice people. And yeah, we just love Barnsley, you know, so much. And when we walk into the town centre, there's just so much of a buzz, you know, going on there. And it's just God that how it all fitted in. If you think about it, it's only been, a little over a couple of months, or round about a couple of months since we moved. But we just love it just so much, and the relationship building that we've had there, and the group of pastors where we've now, there's been some tragedy up north. I don't know if you've seen on the news where in Affersley there was a family of 4 that died in a car crash, and then 2 people on a motorcycle. Now the family of 4 left a daughter, 11-year-old Poppy, behind, and she wasn't in the car. And that's quite close to where we were. We were away for a few days on a break, and Adam goes to school there as well. And it was just so heartbreaking, even though we didn't know the family. But when we just seen the amount of people just rally together with financial blessing for this girl, and they seen, like, I think in 2 weeks, around about £400,000 got raised, you know, for this girl and her future, which money is nothing. You'd rather have your family. But it's just great that the community have just rallied together like that. And then you might have seen when there was some riots in Leeds, and then there was that stuff in Manchester Airport. And so as pastors, we were just sitting together saying, there's just something going on, you know, something's brewing there that we need to get together and pray. So we're arranging prayer nights, and third Sunday of every month, this pastor in the village next to us, now that could have ended up being a bit of a rival. He was from the Assemblies of God, and we were from Elim, and we were a village next to each other. And I said to him as a joke, I said, shall we leave our Pentecostal boxing gloves in the car park, you know? And we just got on so amazingly. And he said, I just want to work together. And so he's got this thing called Deeper. So it's a bit like an encounter evening. So every third Sunday, he's going to put that on where we just pray for the people in Barnsley who don't know the Lord yet, our loved ones, our families. And then we're now going to move it around different churches every month so that it brings unity together.
That's wonderful.
So yeah, so it's just real amazing. And then I had my interview in the hospital a week ago for hospital chaplaincy. So it starts off as voluntary, and I'm just believing that there will be a part-time paid role that eventually come. So I go for my interview, not with the chaplaincy team, but with the recruitment team. Now this guy's not a Christian, and he made that obvious to me at the beginning. And then when he says, so tell me a bit about yourself. So I thought, well, you asked, you know. So we ended up having this real, and he says, so in some things I would say fate, and you would say, I would say that's a God appointment. And then I talked about God's joint up Brighton and the dot-to-dot pictures that we used to do as kids. And I said, well, I see God forming that picture. And at the end he says, wow, that's really powerful, because he was like, why would you come to Barnsley? And then of course I explained the reason how God called us there, and it was just amazing. And so the relationships is really key. And get this, so obviously our regional leader is Paul Hudson. We named our son Hudson after Hudson Taylor, the missionary, who was from Barnsley. Then I go for this interview, and the guy's name is Josh Hudson. Every time it was another layer of this Hudson story. So that's been a real blessing. So by the end of this month, I should be starting then where I'll go in and they will give me a particular ward, or if I feel like God's calling me to, whether it's children part of the hospital, or whether it's broken bones department or cancer, and then so we'll have to do a bit of training, then I'll go around and do my rounds. And I met all the different chaplains there, which was just a real blessing. And the head chaplain in the hospital is also an Elim minister. By now we're in an Elim church that actually we go to, and we're already friends with the lead chaplain, Connie. So God's been in all these relationships. And Claudia's got some good news as well.
I'll just share a little bit as well. So our kids are now at school, so Ephraim really settled really quickly, and that's quite really big thing because he can be a bit introverted, but he really settled in really quickly. He got his place first. And then Adam started in this school. We weren't even aware of it. It's called Holy Trinity, not far from us. And the staff there were really amazing, and they sent us like an email to say that he's credited to us and how good he's doing. And only one of his friends from our area goes to that school, but he happens to live next street from us, and his dad is an elder in another church. So that's a real blessing as well. And I just been applying for different jobs, but didn't get anything. I had a couple of interviews. One of them I turned up at a different school, stuff like that. But I think last week, probably Thursday or Friday, it got confirmed that I'm going to be working for the Director of Evangelism in Elim. So that's really good. And I just wanted to also say a huge thank you for all of you who've been praying for us and who supported us financially, because without you there wouldn't be an Inside Out Church Elim in Barnsley at all. And also I was thinking about this talent, the parable of the talents, and at the end of our lives I don't want to have any talents buried anywhere. And you know how it says about make your light shine, and if we are completely honest with ourselves, I think we probably shine like 50%, 60%, and now this has been like a real opportunity for us just to shine like 100%, and to give all our talents away, and just to, at the end of our life, just to be spent and given our lives to the work of God in this country. And you are definitely part of it, and we're just so grateful for that.
It was so God the way Claudia's job came about, because the person who was doing that job had just handed in their notice and an email come through, and I was just in the car and I read the email, and as soon as I read it I just thought, wow, this guy's going to be busy. I know his diary is very busy, and I thought, how's he going to cope all summer? Then they've got the National Evangelism Conference coming up, and as soon as I read it I just thought, Claudia's the answer. And then I spoke to Claudia, and within half an hour she contacted him, and then he was just jumping it, and he said what ticks the boxes even more is obviously that's all about evangelism. We're church planters with obviously evangelism at the core, and so he was like, wow, it's your local church context, experience, and you're doing it, on the job now. So it just answered all his prayers, and then it answered our prayers. So it's just been a real blessing. God's been like that every step of the way. And on Monday mornings, our friend, if you remember, like we said, we were every month when we were traveling there, we were staying with a couple, and they've just become so best friends for us. So me and the women at Dell, we go out on a Monday morning, we do a little outreach to the homeless and people with addiction problems, and we just sit and we just spend time with them, because they've got a town centre security, so you need to get in there early, because when the town centre security come, they make them leave. They have to get out of town because they're not really, because they've been in trouble so many times. But when we just sit there, and Adele bakes cakes for them, and we just sit there and we just pray with them. There's one guy called David who really needs to get into rehab as soon as possible, and so if you can keep him in your prayers. I mean, he's just, alcohol problems is really rough on him. And then there's another church, Pastor Mark, they now want to pay me 8 hours a week to be pastoral care to one of their recovery groups that meets in their church on a Sunday evening. And he said, we don't want you to invite them to our church, we want them to invite them to your church. So basically, he's paying me 8 hours a week to reach out to these vulnerable people and invite them to our new church. Yeah. And that's what kingdom is. It's just an amazing blessing. And this is what the Barnsley churches have been like for us. Now, there is probably some stories out there, but where there's negative things that happen, but that happens everywhere. But in Barnsley, even the most broken people that we see and we spend time with, you just see the goodness behind the layers of brokenness that's in there. But even they could be in their worst season, but they will still stop you in the street to talk to you. And even the people that are sitting outside that are wanting obviously money and stuff like that, they don't even ask you. They'll just sit outside. And one day we were going to Lidl and we didn't have £1 for the trolley, and they thought, we're going to have to go back, because we need a big shop. And then this homeless guy just comes, do you need £1 for the trolley? And just little things like that. And I'm just like, wow, that pound for that trolley meant more for us that day than a lot of other blessings would be, because it would mean that we would either have to have a basket or it would have made it a bit more awkward. And now we see this guy regular, and he's just such a nice guy. And so we just love, as you can tell by the way we're talking, we just love the people in Barnsley. And last night there was a boxing match on in Barnsley Stadium, and there was Barnsley's very own Callum Simpson, his name was, and so we were walking through the town the other day, and we seen a boxing ring in the middle of Barnsley shopping centre, and I thought, what's that? I thought maybe it's a recruitment for a local team. And then my Adam says, look, Dad, it says Sky Sports on it. So then it turned out that it was like a public workout, and then it was a whole promotion for this boxing match that was on with this local guy, Callum Simpson. And the buzz in the town for 2 days, and the atmosphere behind this guy was just absolutely amazing. It's just the heart of support and loyalty, like in Corby, when there's that local lad Jordan who's gone and doing mixed martial arts. The support he has of his town is amazing, and so we just love the people of Barnsley.
Tell them about the outreach in August.
So the 24th of August, we're going to have our first mission. And any of you that have heard of Tough Talk, so they were former bouncers and weightlifters, and then they got radically saved, and they've been going for the last 20 years. They've been going into prisons, they got churches, outreaches. So they're going to be coming with their setup. So in the town centre, from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, we're going to have an outreach. We're hoping to have some musicians there. We're going to have a gazebo there to do some stuff for the children. We're going to have obviously the weightlifting guys there. From Rotherham, they're going to bring a team of doing healing on the streets, praying for people. And so it's going to be lots of people from different areas. And I know some people from Corby have said they would like to come. So if anybody is free, 24th of August, and you want a day out, and you want to come and just see what Barnsley is all about, then please come and join us. We'd love to have you, and you can serve in any way you want. Okay. So.